Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here. Lab coats on back order, and it's time for this week's Pokemon X singles battles. Now, if you watched the video from last week, you'll see that we did get a victory for one of our Pokemon. Sheldon the Blastoise managed to Fire Blast a Scizor and get herself the green glow of victory. Unfortunately, Dratini didn't manage to pull through as I kind of expected because he's really low in the stats and stuff, although he did get a very impressive knockout on a Salamence, and I was happy with that. But anyways, we're going to look at two new Pokemon I'm bringing this week that were previously unsuccessful in the X double battles back when I did that series. I'm going to combine them with four Pokemon that were successful in the doubles who are currently fighting in the Omega Ruby doubles in Hoenn. We're going to come back for this week into the singles in Kalos and help the two others go into the victory. Now this week I have a little bit higher hopes for the newcomers. I would have expected my Salamence Scales to do a lot better in the X doubles, but unfortunately he didn't, so he's still here in the Kalos region. But I think he can do pretty well in the X singles. And you'll see the other Pokemon I'm bringing, plus the other previously defeated, and the four returning Pokemon. So let's check out the team builder right now and see who I've assembled for this week's Pokemon X singles. So as mentioned, our first previously defeated Pokemon is Scales the Salamence, and he's pretty much the same as he was last time we saw him in the X doubles. I did a little bit of different super training for him this time though, trying to even up the defenses a little bit better. And I've put some more into the speed stat at the cost of taking some out of the attack just to sort of round out the stats a little bit more. He does have the Intimidate, which will lower the opponent's physical attack. He's holding the Wide Lens to increase the accuracy of his moves, because some of them aren't fully accurate. For example, well, Dragon Claw is fully accurate, and it is Stab, so very powerful. And Steel Wing, Fire Fang, and Rock Tomb. Neither of those are fully accurate, but thanks to the Wide Lens, they will be boosted to 100%, so we shouldn't see Scales missing any attacks this time. Now, next up is the other previously defeated Pokemon, and it'll be the Brain the Hypno. And he has had quite a bit of a change as well. He was originally built as a more defensive Pokemon with the intent of stalling out the opponent with Hypnosis and Nightmare, but I decided to go a little bit different with this. And the one move he has from previous generations, which he can't relearn, is Telekinesis. So I'm going to keep that on him, and I was trying to decide what can I really make use of that in conjunction, what can I make use of in conjunction with Telekinesis? Now, if you don't know what Telekinesis does, it makes it so the target who is affected by Telekinesis basically gains the Levitate ability, meaning it will no longer be hit by ground attacks for a few turns, but it does make them unable to dodge any attacks other than one-hit KO moves. So, I wanted to teach the Brain some low-accuracy moves that are powerful. Now, first of all, Hypnosis is kind of a good one to go with. As long as the opponent is under the effect of Telekinesis, Hypnosis will not miss. And if we do put the opponent to sleep, Dream Eater is a good way to recover some HP back, and Focus Blast is good against those dark types that psychic types like Hypno are weak to, and at normally 70% accurate, the Telekinesis will make sure Focus Blast will land. So he has the Insomnia ability, meaning he will not fall asleep, and for added HP recovery, he has Leftovers. Those are the two previously defeated, and the Pokemon coming back from the Hoenn region into Kalos are going to start with Sprout the Venusaur. Now he's back to how he originally was. He was more of a stall-out HP regain kind of a Pokemon. He does have the Overgrow ability, which will boost his grass attacks when he has a low HP, but he doesn't actually have grass attacks, so it's not really going to have that much of an effect. And he has the Black Sludge item, which will heal back some HP, kind of like Leftovers, but it only functions for poison types. Any other type, Black Sludge will actually hurt them every turn. The moveset is Sludge Bomb. Toxic and Leech Seed are good for getting some HP off on the opponent, a steady drain, while Sprout heals back with the Black Sludge, and in between turns we can protect. I shouldn't say in between turns, but every other turn we can protect, heal back some HP with Black Sludge and Leech Seed, while the opponent loses HP from Toxic and Leech Seed. Now, back in the Diamond and Pearl games, I realized this kind of a moveset would leave him unable to really do anything against another grass poison type. I'm thinking like Victory Bell or Vileplume. So instead of a grass type attack, I decided to go with the Sludge Bomb, because you can at least get some neutral damage off on those kind of Pokemon. Now, one of the other Pokemon returning from Hoenn for Kalos this week is Blaze the Charizard. You'll see he has the Blaze ability, of course, like natural Charizard do, and he's holding Charizardite Y, meaning he's a Mega Charizard for this week. And for this moveset, usually when I use him in the double battles, I have him use Heat Wave to get some damage off on both targets, but since we're in the singles, I wanted to go with Flamethrower, which is a little bit more powerful, but fully accurate. Heat Wave has, I think, 90% accuracy. So Flamethrower is a good move to go with. His final move down there is Air Slash, which is also stab, and could get some flinches off. My Charizard is built for some pretty good speed, so hopefully he's going to outspeed and possibly get those flinches. Once he does Mega Evolve, the Sun will come up thanks to the Drought ability, and Solar Beam will suddenly have immediate use. It's not going to have to take a turn to charge up, so we can get some power damage off on some ground, rock, water types, whatever we want to go for. And Mud Slap is a move he learned from back in, I think it was in Soul Silver. It's good against those rock types he's weak to and lowers the accuracy. The third Pokemon coming back from Hoenn is Sheldon the Blastoise. Now I decided this week we're going to go with Mega Blastoise. Yeah, that's right, I'm using 2 Megas this time. Probably won't use them both in the same battle because they're going to counteract each other, and if one of them goes Mega Evolution, the other one won't be able to. But I decided we haven't used Mega Blastoise yet. I do want to show him off and see exactly what we can do with that. So he has had some different super training. I maxed out the special attack this time around. It only got up to 240, unfortunately. But when he Mega Evolves, it will boost up higher than that. And I put the rest of the super training to even up his 2 defenses, so he's going to hopefully tank some hits if the opponent is going to go for some offensive type of attacks. Now the moveset is pretty well switched up. I went with Water Pulse, Dragon Pulse, and Dark Pulse, because when you go Mega Blastoise, you gain the Mega Launcher ability, which powers up all Pulse-type moves. The final move you'll see is Avalanche, which really is not going to do anything in this kind of a moveset, but it's a move he can't relearn, so I'm not going to make him forget it just for this one battle. I think Water Pulse, Dragon Pulse, and Dark Pulse will give him some pretty good coverage anyway, depending on what the opponent is going to send into battle. So we'll see how all that plays out. The final Pokemon for this week is Buukemon the Hariyama. He is a lonely Pokemon with the Guts ability holding the Flame Orb. So once the Flame Orb burns, he gains a special condition. The ability Guts will activate, boosting his attack stat. So he still has his Thunder Punch attack to try to paralyze the foe. Knock Off is good to get rid of whatever items they might be holding. Fake Out is a good first turn attack to make them flinch, and if they're under the effect of perhaps Toxic from Sprout, then they're going to lose a turn and just lose some HP thanks to that Toxic, or if we can get a burn with Blaze perhaps. And this time I decided to go with Rest, because I found quite often he loses so much HP from the Flame Orb that he tends to get knocked out. So Rest will at least heal him back up and cure the burn, and if we can somehow manage to wake him up before the opponent takes him down, then he's going to be at some pretty decent health. The Flame Orb will burn him again, and he'll get that Guts boost once again. So that is going to be the team for this week's Pokemon X single battles. Let's get into those battles right now and see how well we do. Our first opponent has been found from Mexico, Eduardo. Eduardo has a Tyranitar, Hitmonlee, Jolteon, Chandelure, Slurpuff, and Greninja. So who would be best on my side to bring into this? We don't really see any ice type problem, so we do see a fairy type that Scales will be weak against. And as always, I want to sort of bring in one Pokemon from the previously defeated section of the team into each of these battles. So, of the Brain or Scales, who would be the best in this situation? Probably Scales for the type coverage. You can get some good damage off on a lot of these things. What might my opponent lead with? They could start off with the Tyranitar, meaning a good fighting type attack would be something to go for. We don't have fighting, except for on the Brain. But I don't want to bring him in with Scales. They could also lead with the Greninja, because they're pretty fast and they can get off some good things like U-turn and get some switching out initiative. Of my 2 Megas, which one would be the best? I'm thinking in this kind of a situation, probably Blaze. That Tyranitar would be an issue though with Sandstream. This is a tough choice. Well, I think I'm going to lead with Blaze. And I'm going to bring Scales as my second. And to deal with these 2 weaknesses, they're both weak to rock. And at least Buukemon will resist the rock, so I think I'm going to bring him. He will be my third choice. They don't know we don't have a fighting type attack. In fact, I probably should have planned to have a fighting type attack, but we'll see how well this plays out without it. Alright, with the legendary battle music playing in the background, the battle begins with Greninja, ooh, shiny, And I'm going to send in Blaze. Definitely not a good matchup, so they'd probably go for U-turn, I'm thinking. I don't know that for sure. And Greninja can be physical or special offensive, so I don't think intimidating would be a good thing to go for. So I will switch out to Buukemon and assume a U-turn's coming our way. If I assume correctly, we will resist it. It's probably going to have the Protein hidden ability. No, it goes for Surf, so it does have Protein. It is a pure water type now. And we're not surviving another one of those hits. Now, if Flame Orb did activate, we can at least get a Fake Off before, or Fake Off before we go down, so we're going to do that. We're not going to outspeed otherwise. We get minimal damage. Alright, so we saw it go for Surf. Would it go for Surf again? I do want to actually bring Buukemon out so we can at least use another Fake Out. So I'm going to retreat and go into Scales right now. I hope they don't go for an Ice attack, that would be pretty bad at this point. Alright, so we're going to Intimidate. Of course, it's not really going to make that much of a difference. And they go for Extra Sensory. And that was a nice critical hit. So I'm thinking that probably sealed the game because we're not going to outspeed with any of my Pokemon. If they hadn't gotten that critical hit, I could have used Rock Tomb as I'm about to do to slow this thing down a bit, but it is not going to matter at this point. Alright, so we know it has Surf. If we Mega Evolve with Blaze, we can at least get the Sun up. And we know Buukemon won't be able to do anything, he's already so weak. That's going to be the way to go. Blaze comes in, we Mega Evolve. And do we want to go for the sure knockout of Solar Beam, or should we predict they might send something else in? We could go for Air Slash. Now if they send in the Tyranitar, that would be a problem. Although if they send Tyranitar in, the Sandstream will activate first, and then I will Mega Evolve. I'm just going to go Mega Evolution and go Solar Beam, and hope whatever comes in does not resist it. This whole time we have been seeing the Life Orb recoil from what Greninja is holding, so will the Sunny Day weaken the water enough that Surf will not knock out Blaze? It could get another lucky critical hit, of course. So if they go into water type, come on, no crit. I already got one, that's not fair. Alright, we do survive that, and we're going to get a knockout with the Solar Beam. Question is what's going to come in next. Now they could send in the Tyranitar with the Sandstream. If they do, I'm going to swap out to Buukemon so we can bring Blaze back in to get the Sunny Day up. That's a Jolteon. I don't imagine we're going to outspeed Jolteon. It could also be a Choice Scarf, perhaps, for added speed. Just to see what they're going to go for, I'm going to swap out to Buukemon right now. Unfortunately, we won't get to use the Fake Out because it's going to take him down most certainly. Let's just see what they go for. Just straight up Thunderbolt. Our Charizard is not going to take that. I don't know if it really matters. The HP bar was going down kind of slow, so I wonder if that implies maybe this doesn't have very good special offense. I've never known Jolteon not to have good special offense, though. So, with nothing else to go for, we're just going to go all out with a Flamethrower and hope for the best. Nope, they do outspeed. So down goes Blaze, and the opponent does defeat our team for the first match of this week. There's not much more I could have done, so good game to my opponent. We were just outplayed. Alright, our next opponent from Chiba, Japan, rating 1500, which is well above mine based on all the losses I've been taking. Interesting team. Okay, Lucario and Venusaur could be Mega. We do have a Rotom Heat, Carbink, Hydreigon, and a Jellicent. So who would be the best on my side? I'm thinking possibly Sheldon could Mega Evolve and be super effective against 3 of these. 4 actually. So he's a good option. I wonder if the Brain might be good in this situation too. We can possibly put things to sleep with Hypnosis and use Dream Eater. We can also go for some Focus Blast against the Lucario and that Hydreigon. Now what might they lead with? Lucario could be a lead. We could bring... I'm thinking bring Buukemon for the start. We can get at least a Fake Off right away. So he's going to be the lead. We're going to give the Brain a shot in this battle. And I'm thinking for the Mega, we're going to go with Mega Sheldon this time. Alright, let's begin. Although my opponent's going to take a few moments to continue deciding what they're going to send in. Okay, so one thing is immune to the Fake Out, and that will be Jellicent, but we can get a knockoff to get rid of an item, and it will be super effective against that Ghost-type Jellicent. Of course, Will-O-Wisp is a possible issue from that Rotom, but if they do burn our Hariyama, we do have the Guts. They might not actually want to go for the Will-O-Wisp against him. Now they could have Hex though. There's so many possibilities, so many predictions that could be made. Let's just get into this battle and see what the leads are on each side. Alright, so in comes Buukemon on our side. They're going to lead off with the Rotom Heat. Now, is there anything this could do to us? As I say, they could go with the Will-O-Wisp, but I can get a knockoff attack off and try and get rid of the item, and they might swap out to their Ghost type expecting the Fake Out. So we're going to go with the knockoff. It's a pretty decent play. We're going to go for it. They do withdraw. Do we predict the Jellicent? There it is. Super effective knockoff. Here we go. So, decent-ish damage. We got rid of the Citrus Berry, and there's the burn. Now, question is, will we be able to get the knockout with the burn? It's not holding an item anymore, that Jellicent, so knockoff isn't boosted in power, but Guts has just boosted our attack stat. Either way, if they switch out, we're going to get a good knockoff and lose an item on another opponent's Pokemon, so we're going to go knockoff once again. Could go for I think the Jellicent can learn a Psychic move or two, so that could be a problem. It could also be a Trick Room team also. Fortunately, we didn't invest in speed for Sheldon, so I was going to recover. They might have been expecting me to swap out. Alright, let's see how much the knockoff does without a held item. About the same amount. So, we can recover stall them out, although the burn will slowly whittle away at us. I think in this situation, we might want to switch out and go to Sheldon, Mega Evolve for a Mega Launcher boosted Dark Pulse. I'm going to stay in once more and try and knock off once again, and if they go for a recovery, then we can switch. I just want to see what they're going to go for. Okay, recover once again. The question is, do we want to play this game? Because the more they recover, the more chance we have of getting a critical hit. But I think we don't want to let Buukemon get too weak with the burn already, so we're going to swap out now. We could go into Brain, but we don't want to take a Ghost attack from this thing. So we're going to go right into Sheldon right now. As I say, we can Mega Evolve and get the Dark Pulse off for super effective damage. And they recover again. Safe play on my opponent's side. Now, would they go for something like a Will-O-Wisp? Possibly. It's not going to really affect us because we are not physical offensive. But, the question is, are they going to switch out? So we're going to Mega Evolve. A pretty safe play might be the Dark Pulse. Now, if they send in their Lucario, I think it gets, rattled? Or something like that, where it might be justified. If they get hit with a Dark move, it boosts one of their stats. So I'm going to make a decently neutral play go for a Water Pulse. I think Jellicent might have Water Absorb, but it's already at full HP, so it's not going to make that much of a difference. We're not going to heal it up. Alright, so they stay in. We're going to go with Mega Evolution. Mega Sheldon for the first time. And Water Pulse. Nope, no Water Absorb. Now this is super specially bulky. Will-O-Wisp is totally fine. It's not going to affect our attack stat in any way. Now, of course, it will slowly whittle down our HP. So Water Absorb is not going to... Water Pulse is not going to do anything. I wonder if we make the risky play now and go for a Dark Pulse and hope they don't switch into the Lucario. You know what? I'm going to see what a Dragon Pulse will do, actually. Just in case they swap out. So they do stay in. Dragon Pulse. Decent amount. And they're going to Hex. We are specially defensive, or defensive on both sides. We won't take another Hex, though. Now we have to Dark Pulse. They might read us like a book and switch into their Lucario now, but on the off chance they don't, we can get a knockout with this Dark Pulse. Alright, so down goes the Jellicent. Unfortunately, we don't have any other way to recover our Mega Blastoise, so we might not have, or we might have to let him drop, depending on what comes in. I'm expecting Mega Lucario. It could also be Mega Venusaur now that I think about it, though. But something tells me it's going to be a Mega Lucario team. It's a Rotom. Rotom Heat. This probably has Hex as well. Now, we're not going to outspeed this thing. We have no way to slow it down. I'm going to have to go with a Water Pulse, just assuming that, you know, I'm going to drop at this point. So Water Pulse is the way to play. Volt Switch, okay. So it's going to drop us for sure. Now the fortunate thing is we get to see what their last Pokemon is before we send in our replacement. And this could make or break the game right here. It's currently 2-2 on both sides. And it is a Venusaur. So we're going to go with the Brain. We're going to get that Telekinesis and Hypnosis. Now, Venusaur are not known to be really particularly fast, but neither are Hypno. So, I'm going to go with the Telekinesis for start, and levitate it into the air. So that is the Mega Evolution. Mega Venusaur on the opponent's side of the field. Who's the faster Pokemon? It is the Venusaur. The Elite Seed is fine. It lifts you right up into the air, so you're not going to be able to avoid this Hypnosis. Now, they could switch out, of course. And what we're going to want to do, we're going to try to put this thing to sleep first, and then we might want to switch out immediately, because assuming that they're going to switch out, they probably will expect that we have Dream Eater. If we survive this hit, which probably won't happen. Actually, we did. Okay, not bad. Now, we can easily, if they stayed in, get a Dream Eater off right now. But I'm predicting they're going to swap out. We do get our slight leftovers recovery, but the Leech Seed is going to drain a little bit away. So I'm going to make a switch right now into Buukemon. He is burned, so we don't need to worry about any sort of toxic or anything, and we do have the Guts boost. So they do withdraw first of all. We're going to swap right into Buukemon and meet this Rotom on the field of battle head on. Okay, so would they Volt Switch again? So I'm thinking of going for a knockoff. Try to take out whatever item this is holding. Although, best play right now, first we're going to do Fake Out. Immediately get some damage off. And as we saw, this Rotom does have Hex. I think our best bet, of course, Thunder Punch will do nothing. See, if I actually had a fighting type move, this wouldn't be bad. However, we're just going to knock off and try to get rid of whatever item it has. Overheat, okay. If only we were thick fat. Now the special attack did just drop. wonder if that means the Brain might be able to survive some hits from this thing now. I don't want to go Telekinesis, it's going to waste a turn. I'm going to try Hypnosis immediately. Our Focus Blast won't do anything really. We're going to hope on the 60% accuracy. That is a really risky play, but we're going to give it our best. They wouldn't swap out now, would they? They do. Oh, I could have went for Dream Eater. Now, they could swap this out right now, but if they do, it's not going to have any turns in battle to wake up, and we can slowly get some leftovers recovery. So we're going to Dream Eater immediately. Even if they switch back into the Rotom, no big deal. It stays asleep. So this is at least one turn we're going to get some health recovery. Alright, and the leftovers will heal us up a good amount as well. Problem is, as soon as they wake up, they can go for that Leech Seed, and it's just a matter of time before the Brain goes down. Alright, let's hope they stay asleep for one more turn. We're going to Dream Eater once more. Knowing our luck, they're going to wake up. They actually don't. Okay. So Dream Eater, some more damage back. This Venusaur is one more hit away from going down, and we're at full HP. Now we're going to go with a Telekinesis to ensure the Focus Blast will hit. Now this thing's probably going to wake up almost immediately. Should I just go for the Focus Blast right now? They're definitely going to let this thing drop. I'm going to Telekinesis. They stay asleep. Alright, so up into the air you go. Focus Blast at this range will take it down, unless it has a draining attack. In fact, knowing that, I'm pretty sure it's going to wake up right now, so I'm going to Hypnosis immediately. If they heal back any damage with anything, so Leech Seed, okay, that wouldn't have done a thing. It might now. Okay, so they could switch out. Now that they have the HP recovery with Leech Seed, they might want to keep Venusaur alive. So we are going to heal back some with the leftovers. I still think a Focus Blast will finish this. We're going to go with Focus Blast. Even if they swap out, we'll rely on the 70% accuracy. And the moment this Venusaur comes back in, assuming we can take that Rotom down, a Dream Eater will finish this fight. The Rotom is our next big threat. I should have gone for Telekinesis right now, because as you can see, they're switching out, and I could have brought the Rotom into basically no guard. They won't be able to dodge any hits. But we do land the Focus Blast. Okay, one more of those. No, actually not after the Leech Seed recovery, but one more could have done it. So the Rotom did get its special attack back up to neutral after the overheat by switching out. I need to put this thing to sleep. Do I trust in the 60%? We don't outspeed this thing. I think we need to try to put her to sleep immediately. I'm going to risk a Hypnosis without the Telekinesis. It's going to trick the item. It's got a choice item, doesn't it? Alright, so we got the choice specs. Now fortunately, what I learned about trick choice items, I still get to choose right now what attack I'm going to go for. So I'm going to choose Focus Blast, and the choice spec will boost it. But of course, it is going to be only 7% accurate. Okay, now, I don't understand why this is happening. It just told me I can't use Focus Blast because I chose Hypnosis. When I tricked a choice item with my Persian, the opponent got to change their move. So, this is a weird thing that I don't understand. So we're going to forfeit because we can't win this because the choice item decided to lock me into a move that it shouldn't have. So good game to my opponent and the weird glitchiness of the battle. My final opponent from Ishikawa, Japan, rating of 1475. I'm still upset with that last fight. That made no sense. Look, a Rotom Heat. Well, this is great. And a Greninja. Swell. This seems to be the week for annoying battles for both the Omega Ruby and the X battles. But anyway, let's try to calm down a bit. try to focus on what my opponent might go for. So there are 4 possible Mega Evolutions. So anytime I see a Greninja or a Rotom Heat, I'm going to assume that they're going to come into that fight. Now, the only problem is, how do we deal with any of that? And the answer is, I do not think that we do. But I'm going to lead with a Buukemon. We can get the Fake off at least. Of my 2 previously defeated Pokemon, I think probably Scales is the best bet. It'll be super effective against a good number of these Pokemon. Well, I shouldn't say good number. It'll be super effective against a number of these Pokemon. Plus, we can get the Intimidate on the Kangaskhan if need be. Or the Garchomp actually could be physical as well. And when I say could be, I mean it is, because I don't think Special Garchomp is a thing. Now, the final Pokemon, I think I might want to go with Blaze, perhaps. It's a nice, powerful, sun-boosted flamethrowers off, so he will be 3rd choice. And let's give this battle our best shot. But seriously, earlier on my channel, I used a Persian with a Choice Scarf, I believe it was. No, I think it was Choice Specs. We tricked it onto a Talonflame, and they were able to change their move to something else. I wonder if it's based on speed, like if it's a move. I can't remember if the Talonflame went before we used Trick, or Switcheroo, but maybe if you use a move and then you get the item tricked onto you, then you can choose a different one. Because the Rotom did outspeed the Brain, and then the Brain used Hypnosis. I don't know, I'll have to do a little bit more research into that, I suppose. Either way, the choice items just do not like me, it seems. But enough about those battles, let's get into this one. So they issue the challenge, they're going to lead with everybody's favorite Pokemon, Greninja. But as I say, we can get the Fake off, the Fake out off. We could just go straight out Thunder Punch, but this is most likely a Protein Greninja, and it is not going to stay a Water type. So we're just going to Fake out right now. I could knock off and get rid of the Life Orb, which I know it holds. No, first we Fake out, next turn, if we survive Extra Sensory, then we knock off. So we do Flinch. And the Burn takes effect. Now we gotta go knock off. Grass Knot. We are heavy, this is gonna hurt. Not super effective. But it is Stab, and we're gonna get rid of the Life Orb. And we actually take the Greninja down. Sweet. At the cost of losing our Hariyama, unfortunately. Because whatever comes in is probably gonna outspeed. But I might want to pull him back so we can get another Fake out. I keep starting to say Fake off. Knock off and Fake out are messing up my battle strategy just based on the name. Well, we do see a Garchomp. It's probably got... I don't know what it learns for speed priority, but it's probably got something like that. I think we just bring in Blaze right now and let him go down. Salamence, Scales, is our best shot to deal with this Garchomp. So Blaze, you're going to come in, take a hit. It's probably, I'm thinking maybe Outrage is going to go for it. And if it is, actually Earthquake, sweet, okay. Now, our only possible chance, we have to Mega Evolve. I think Air Slash for a flinch, and Solar Beam for neutral damage. I could Mud Slap to lower accuracy. I don't think we're going to outspeed, and this one probably has a Rock Attack, though. So we're going to Mega Evolve. I'm just going to go with Mud Slap is probably our best shot. It's very weak, but we can maybe make them lose some accuracy perhaps. So, Drought will activate. The sun becomes very harsh. And they go with a Stone Edge, which does connect. Down goes Blaze. Yeah, I knew he was going to drop. Now, we can bring in Scales and go for the Intimidate, which is our best bet. And I just kind of have to leave him in. I don't want to switch out to Buukemon because it's going to get him knocked out and he's not going to be able to use Fake Out. So all we can really do is go for a Rock Tomb to slow this thing down, but we're not going to survive an outrage. We are quite defensive though. We just lowered the attack stat, so come on, hang in there, Scales. Oh, we barely take it. Okay, come on, connect. Yes. So we slow it down. I don't know if we outspeed, but we're definitely going to give it our shot. We're going to go with a Dragon Claw. If this thing has rough skin, it's going to take us out to the recoil, but we're going to try to get a knockout. Okay, we do outspeed. I was a little worried about that. And we almost take the Garchomp down. Rough skin does take us out. Now, of course, Fake Out will finish this, but the rough skin will take us down. Unless they get... Okay, I was hoping they're going to confuse me. So now that it's been slowed down, I still don't think we're going to outspeed with Buukemon. Since the Fake Out will take us down, I gotta rest. I gotta try to heal up and hope this thing somehow doesn't manage to hit us. But it's gonna go. Before we do, I'm quite certain. I think we just lost this one. Outrage does connect. So down we go for our third match of the week. Not much more we could have done against the overwhelming power that we were facing, especially another Greninja. Who is not tired of seeing those yet, everybody? Good game. Well, another trio of losses on our side for this week's Pokemon X singles battles, which is really disappointing because normally what I'll do is just go right into the battles, you know, select a team, put them together, try to plan out some movesets and such, and I'll go into battles fresh. I'll just go straight into there from the team building. This week I actually did a little bit of off-screen training to see how well my team did, and we were actually at a positive win rate. So the fact that these three battles just happen to be ones that we lost is really unfortunate. So I can't show you the ones that we actually won. You just gotta take my word for it, and hopefully you will. But anyways, that really bothered me with that choice item. I still don't understand why my opponent wouldn't have been locked into it in a previous battle, yet I was locked into a move. But anyway, as I say, it might have been to deal with the speed stats and the order that things happened. Like if the item is tricked on before your opponent or your Pokemon uses the item, maybe they're locked into it if they use the attack after the item. Anyways, we do get the red glow for both the Brain and Scales, which is too bad because I had high hopes for at least Scales. The Brain, maybe not as much, but I had a feeling our Salamence would have a shot to get into the Omega Ruby single battles and go for some Mega Evolution, but to be completely honest, I'm going to bring him in someday anyway. I want to see Mega Salamence on my side of the field. So, with all that being said, that's going to be the end of this week's Pokemon X singles battles. Feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought of all my opponent's Greninja and the Rotom and all that fun stuff. But anyways, again, just leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the battles and suggest maybe some different plays I could have made or different movesets for the Pokemon that I used. And hopefully anyone that wants to use these kind of Pokemon that I used in their own teams, any suggestions you give might help them with some team building and strategy ideas. So with that, I'm going to end off this week's video with, as I say, another couple of losses. We're going to come back next week and choose a couple more Pokemon I haven't used yet, put them into the X singles battles, and I'm going to choose Pokemon that I haven't used for a while and see how well they do, because I want to give them each a chance to shine. So again, thank you for checking out this battle video this week, folks. Hopefully luck will be with us next time. Until then, I'll see you and catch you next time.